Have you ever wondered why so many new traders just get wiped out? I mean, even when they have a decent strategy. Well, the answer is way simpler and honestly more important than you probably think. So, let's dive in and uncover the one single principle that really separates the pros from the crowd. I want you to really let that sink in for a second. This isn't just some random opinion. This is the absolute foundational truth of successful trading. It's not about chasing some magic indicator or a secret formula. It's about surviving the losses you know are coming. And that is exactly what we're going to break down today. All right, let's kick things off by completely reframing the entire goal of trading. If you can get this first part right, it's a total mindset shift, and it's the key that makes everything else just fall into place. So, I'll ask you this. What do you think is the number one goal of a professional trader? I'll give you a little hint. It has nothing to do with making as much money as possible. The real answer? Well, that's the key to having any kind of longevity in this game. And boom, here it is. This slide just nails the difference. The beginner is totally focused on the upside, right? The potential profits, the dream. But the professional, they're obsessed with the downside. Their very first question every single time is about survival. How can I protect my capital so I'm still here to trade tomorrow? And that's exactly why this mindset is everything. Without it, a little losing streak, which, by the way, is a totally normal part of trading, can be absolutely devastating. It can erase weeks of your hard work, emotions completely take over, your discipline goes right out the window, and you're left with a blown account. Okay, next up, let's get into the hard math behind one of the most common and, frankly, one of the most dangerous mistakes a new trader can possibly make. We've all heard this, right? Maybe we've even thought it. It kind of seems logical on the surface. More risk equals more reward. But in trading, that logic is a trap. It's a trap that has caught countless new traders. Now, 5%, it doesn't sound like a lot, does it? It feels sort of reasonable, aggressive, but not totally crazy to risk on a single trade. But let's see what it actually does to your account. What's so wild about this is just how fast the damage adds up. So on a $1,000 account, you're losing $50 per trade. And after just 5 losses in a row, which is not uncommon at all, a full quarter of your entire account is just gone, vanished. And this right here is the psychological domino effect. Those big $50 losses, they just crush your confidence. Then you start making emotional decisions to win the money back. You've probably heard it called revenge trading. You start breaking your own rules, taking even bigger risks, and before you know it, your account is toast. So if that's the road to failure, what's the path to survival? Well, it's actually remarkably simple, but it is incredibly powerful, and it's what the pros use every single day. That's it. It's really not complicated. I don't care how good a trade looks, you never, ever risk more than 1% of your total capital. This is your ultimate defense mechanism. It's non-negotiable. Okay, so let's run those numbers again. We'll use the exact same sample account size we saw before, $1,000. But this time, instead of that dangerous 5%, we're going to apply the professional's rule. We're only going to risk 1% of that account on our next trade. And what's the result? Your maximum possible loss on any single trade is just $10. I mean, think about the psychological difference here. A $50 loss, that hurts. But a $10 loss, that's just feedback. It's a data point. You can shrug it off, see what happened, and move on to the next trade with a totally clear head. Now, I know what a lot of you are probably thinking right now. My account is too small for this. I'll never make any real money risking just a few dollars. Let's just tackle that idea head on. Here's the crucial thing to understand. Having a small account makes this rule more important, not less. Discipline is your single most valuable asset when you're starting out. If you treat trading like a get-rich-quick scheme, I promise you, it's the fastest way to get poor. Just look at how this scales down. On a $100 account, your max risk is just one single dollar. Now, is the growth going to be slow? Yes, absolutely, but it will be safe. And that safety gives you time to actually learn the skill, to build real confidence, and to prove you can be consistent without blowing up. And this all brings us to maybe the most important benefit of all, the psychological edge you get. See, proper risk management isn't just about math. It's about mastering your own mind. Now, this is really interesting because it shows the reality for most profitable traders. They are not winning 90% of their trades. Far from it. A lot of them lose 40, 45, maybe even 50% of the time. The difference is their winning trades are bigger than their losing trades because they manage risk perfectly. They've accepted that taking small losses is just a part of the business. When you're only risking 1%, a loss is just a piece of data. It doesn't trigger that fear or that greed response in your brain. You can stay objective, you can stick to your strategy, and you can build the kind of consistency that actually leads to long-term profitability. Okay, so let's wrap this all up. Let's put it into a clear, actionable blueprint that you can literally start using today. This is your checklist for survival. First, stick to a max risk of 1% or even less. Second, always, and I mean always, know your exit point, your stop loss, before you even get into the trade. Third, if you take a loss, never ever break your rules trying to win it back. And finally, judge your performance over weeks and months, not by the random outcome of one single trade. And this is your mission. Forget about doubling your account in a month. Your only goal right now should be survival. Protect your capital, learn the craft, and just give yourself the time you need to develop into a consistently profitable trader. The profits will come, but only if you're still in the game to collect them.